somebody report a murder or a dead body or something?
Where at?
In the alley.
Alright. I don't know why the fuck I gotta be on like a multi-day drug bender in order to feel like a desire to do anything fucking creative, but I'm not really frequently far away from anybody. I live in a house with a lot of people and a significant other, and I just have a lot of constant company given my lifestyle, so it's hard to get away and want to do something like this that is a bit more of an introverted task. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fucking know. I gotta take those fucking headphones out. I don't like hearing myself while I'm recording. It adds like fucking sense of angst to every fucking thing I do. What am I looking for right now? There we go. There we go. And lift off. Alright. I've had so much content stacked up for so long that it's time to just start fucking dishing it out, yo. I went downstate this weekend to check out recreational marijuana dispensaries, or dispensaries that were once medical marijuana dispensaries that I went to while I had a medical marijuana card. That expired last July while I was 20. Was turning 21 in October. It was legalized a year prior. Stores were going to be activated as of 2020. I figured why not just wait? So I just smoked weed illegally for a couple months after not having a medical marijuana card or renewing. I got pulled over while smoking weed and for something unrelated, and I was just straight up with the dude and told him I mailed for renewal, and I didn't, but he was like, "You're good to go, bro." He literally just took my roach and like kicked it into the ground. I was like, "I didn't smoke in the car. I smoked right before I left," which was a bullshit fucking lie, but got straight away with that one. I was like, shit, dude. I was like looking for my friend's house, and I was like off a bar being stupid, and I walked up to the wrong house because I didn't have data on my phone. So fucking Google's GPS system took me like 2 blocks the wrong direction, because it still works like GPS and whatnot regardless of not having data. But yeah, holy shit, that was silly as fuck. I like showed the ops, like I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to go to my friend's house right now to pay him this like $300, and they're like, what is this cash for? And I'm like, I owed him it from the summer. You reek like marijuana, sir. Yeah, I cannot believe they let me go in that situation. That was crazy. The girl driving probably definitely helped that situation a lot, but I guess I just know how to talk to police, and I'm not a fucking idiot, but they definitely know who I am, given I live in a very small community, and I'm a very outspoken person. I don't really give a fuck about anything, or I don't know what I'm trying to get at there. Isn't this game beautiful? This game has been out for months, and I planned to cover this so much, and I was so disappointed by a lot of things inside of the game itself that assuming this is Sword and Shield video we're showing right now, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I don't know if that's what's playing right now or not. I can't handle looking at the gameplay while trying to record at the same time. I get too fucking, I don't even know. We're going back to this thing really quick so I can pause that thought. I'm a scatterbrain. I'm fed up with everybody's bullshit. Went downstate to go, let's get off that side tangent. So this weekend, went downstate to go check out dispensaries that I've already been to in Bay City area and other places down there where I do not live. That's like a good couple hours from where I live, and I have to cross the Mackinac Bridge to get down there, so it's a whole journey in itself, but it's well worth it. My favorite thing about it all is probably just being in the car and being high and finally just having all of your great shit and riding home. One time we came home in a thunderstorm and I was just rocked off an edible that I got at the shop, and it was overwhelming but great being on the freeway going fucking 70 miles an hour, just fucking rocked as the thunder's coming down. But this weekend, went down there, checked shit out. Taxes are doubled for recreational patients. We're extremely limited and what we are allowed to purchase. The people, the bud tenders there, some of them even remembered me from before. I'm like, yeah, I have an account here from when I had a medical marijuana card. I just wanted to come see what it was like as a recreational patient. And honestly, in my opinion, if you live in Michigan, it's probably a lot more worth it to go with getting the medical marijuana card if you have the ability to. Cough, cough. Everybody has the fucking ability to. It's just literally being a member of the Cool Kid Club. It's kind of silly. They give a medical marijuana card to anyone. It is a business, and the doctors there are not necessarily trying to cure people. I mean, they might be, and they might believe in marijuana, but they get a check for your appointment, and that's how they're making their money. And where I got my medical marijuana card was a chiropractic place, and I'm a person with genuine scoliosis, and I can tell you this straight up that place was really good at giving medical marijuana cards and not so good at chiropractic. But marijuana does definitely help with a lot of medical shit. That's not what video is about. But the only point that I'm trying to make is get a medical marijuana card if you plan on going to dispensaries frequently, or are planning on spending a couple $100s at dispensaries or doing that frequently, because the reason is you're going to save so much more money in taxes and on bulk deals. You can look on weed maps on your phone before you go to a dispensary, and 9 times out of 10 they'll have a daily deal offer, or sometimes they'll have coupons, or show us this picture or mention this ad and we'll give you a free this or that, whether it's a pre-roll or gram of bud or dab or something. There's a lot more benefits to having the medical marijuana card. When I had the medical marijuana card, I was able to purchase a lot more at the store. It was a lot cheaper. There were bulk deals. I could get lab tested cartridges that you knew were 100% the real thing from the store in bulk. You could get them from anywhere from $15 for full gram cartridges to $50 depending on quality. They had like THC distillate cartridges to rosin cartridges to everything. They had weed lean. They had all sort of shit. One second, let me pop this shit. Alright. Pop a dilly till I'm silly. Fuck. Alright, on the real though, this shit is a crisis. Going down there, all in all, the experience was worth it. It was interesting to see all of the shops that I had been to previously 8 months later and see how they had upgraded and see how things had changed around in there for them to accompany recreational users and medical users. Places that I went before that would have a bunch of shelves just full of product are now separated into what is available for recreational and what is available for medical. If you're a person who is over the age of 21, you don't have to be from Michigan. You can drive here. They said people from Georgia had driven all the way there to get their marijuana, and you can go to Detroit or Bay City or a lot of other places, and there are many dispensaries. Bay City alone, as of the recording of this video, has 3 if not 4 recreationally available dispensaries. One of those was my favorite medical dispensary regardless, but what would I suggest? If you're a person who really likes marijuana and or cannabis or whatever you want to call it, and doesn't have the widespread availability of those products close to home, and you want to come here, go for it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff available, but the longer you wait, the more stuff you're going to get. And if you're willing to, because more stores will be open and will be granted their recreational licenses. As of January 24th, 2020, 3 stores, if not 4, like I said, in Bay City, and I know more in Detroit, have their recreational licenses. I know one in Ann Arbor does. I know some might in the Upper Peninsula. I'm not quite sure, but if you live in Wisconsin, that might be a closer drive, but know that the Lower Peninsula of Michigan will. I'm from the Upper Peninsula, so this is an unbiased opinion. The population in the Lower Peninsula is much higher, so if you're going to buy cannabis here, you should go there because there's going to be a lot more stuff to do. There's going to be a lot better and more cannabis, more dispensaries, and a better experience for you overall because it is a more metropolitan area as opposed to this being a lot more rural than urban. What else do I have to say? We went to a lot of pet stores and retro video game stores. It was really cool to be able to buy PS1 games, a new charger for my Game Boy Micro I'm planning on refurbishing, a new cartridge because my girlfriend wanted to play the fucking Shrek 2 game for whatever reason. I explained to her that we could play this on our Nvidia Shield or any emulator or even her cell phone, but she wanted the authentic cartridge, so I applauded her in that because that's my OCD mentality when it comes to that type of shit too. Back to the cannabis shit. I have a 4-foot red iguana, and don't get fucking iguanas. They're horrible pets, and they require a lot of time, but I don't have a job, so I can just fuck with them all day long. But don't do that, because it's a huge responsibility. But I got another baby one to go with my adult 4-foot one, and I am quite pleased because they seem to be getting along quite well. I'm uploading a Evans Reptiles video alongside this one today or tomorrow, and it will feature a clip of that if it's not shown in this one at the end anyway. I'm growing cannabis inside of a vivarium, aquarium, terrarium, whatever you want to call it. It has land and water inside of it. It's a glass rectangular prism cube. It's a tank. Inside of it, I'm growing a weed plant, and I have tree frogs in there too. So if you want to check that video out, definitely go to my channel, or I don't know if it's linked in the description. I'm bad and lazy at that kind of shit. But anyway, was it worth driving 4 to 5 hours to get weed? Yes, because I haven't had the options of cannabis that I like. Up here, there's really good weed, but you might have one kind of good weed or 2 or 3 kinds of good weed, as opposed to you having all that same quality weed for the same price, if not cheaper. And there's hundreds of different kinds of it available to you, all within a 10-mile radius. So it's definitely worth it for someone like me who lives in an urban area and is unable to do something like that. Or if you just don't want to deal with a fucking drug dealer and you want to have a good, positive experience with happy, nice people, there are some good dispensaries and there are some worse ones. But I don't want to... For whatever, I'm reluctant to just name off particular storefronts, but know that there are certain places that are better than others, and if you have a medical marijuana card, your experience is going to be better than everyone else's, because you're going to be able to go to every store, you're going to be able to get any product there. If you're a recreational user, you're limited to certain concentrates, flour, certain things, but they're not necessarily worse. There's just not as much availability. If you're a person who's going to travel, listen to this right now. If you're coming from hundreds of miles away to get this, wait, because you're going to want to go to a festival, all right? And the reason you want to go to a festival and not a storefront is that storefront is the middleman. That storefront is a drug dealer. It is a trap. Yes, it might be nice. Yes, it might be comfortable. Yes, it might look like an Apple store, but at the end of the day, they're middlemaning you, okay? There's companies that are supplying the store, and the store is vending it to you at a higher price than which they would have bought it from the other person. So that's literally, if you're a trapper, it's the same shit. It's what it is. So if you want to avoid all of that, cut the middleman out, cut the store out, and have availability for every product, regardless of being in the cool kid club, having a medical marijuana card or not, you can go to a festival like Kushstock or High Times. Not High Times, Cannabis Cup. High Times is who hosts that. But Cannabis Cup and Kushstock, I know that there's another one called Sapo Sesh maybe. I know there's Hash Bash, but I can vouch for, I've been to Kushstock and Cannabis Cup. I went to both Cannabis Cups and one Kushstock festival. They either hold them on a raceway or in a really cool factory courtyard warehouse area in Detroit. It's really great. It's open. It's friendly. There's a lot of freaks and geeks. There's a lot of cool people. There's a lot of art, great food, live music, rappers. It's basically like going to a state fair. And you know how when you go to the state fair, there's those fucking tents everywhere with games or food, like food vendors, or fucking like just tents everywhere of just bullshit, whether it's a business or weird shit at the state fair. It's like that. There's just a bunch of propped up tents, but every single tent is another cannabis company. I was walking down an aisle and I heard some motherfucker go, "Free dabs!" I go, "What did you just say?" I said, "Did you just say free dabs?" He goes, "No." I said, "Free dabs!" And I was like, all right, bro, let's do it. Show me what you got. He's like, all right, so here's how it goes. If you don't cough, you can keep going. So as much as you can handle, we're going to give you. Just don't spit on it. Don't drool on it. Da-da-da-da-da. You want to wipe it off. Here's the wipe. Da-da-da-da. Did that. Did my shit. Took a dab. Dude, he just kept going. He was not playing. I felt my eyes do a thing. I was like on number 3. I was trying to blow it out my nose while hitting it from the rig, thinking I'm on top shit because I dab frequently and whatnot. Like on some white people shit, just going. But no, like... Couldn't after a minute he was like looking at me laughing like, "It got you, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, it got me." I was like looking at a fucking 3-wheeled car, and I called it a 3-seater. I was like fucking just retardo mode. I couldn't handle myself. I was like tripping all over the place. I was like talking to people I would never talk to. I'm like at the stand, like looking at art pieces, like smoking some weed. Busta Rhymes is in the background. 2 Chainz was at the other one, dude. Going to the festivals is like really great, but could potentially be overwhelming to a person who does not like to be high in a large crowd of people. If you're a person who likes to go to concerts and you smoke blunts at the concert and don't give a fuck, then this is the best place for you. I'm the type of person where it's like when I go to Suicide Boys, I'm sneaking in a bunch of weed and shit, and I don't want to have to deal with security fucking up my time, shining a flashlight in my face, telling me to give them the blunt and whatnot, alright? Get the fuck out of my face, bro. When you're at Cannabis Cup, ain't none of that shit. You just nodding your head. 2 Chainz or Busta Rhymes or Lil Skies or whoever the fuck they book is like rapping the shit up on the stage and you smoking your weed. Everybody's smoking blunts. There's just clouds coming off the crowd. Everybody's into it. It's a good time. It's a positive experience. If you're 18 and up and have a medical marijuana card, you're allowed to go in. I went in at 19 and 20, but if you're over the age of 21, you can just come up, guys. Like, do it. We're not that far away. Get grandma, hop in the car, and go to a fucking weed festival. It's 2020, dude. It's 2020. They've been doing this for over 5-10 years now, I think. Medical marijuana has been a thing in Michigan since 2008. Cannabis is legal in Illinois now. When I was at the Lyrical Lemonade Festival, they were advertising weed brands. They're going to have cannabis festivals in Chicago now. Motherfuckers gonna be going off. Chicago, for me, is just as close as the Lower Peninsula because I live in the Upper Peninsula, and places in Wisconsin are closer to me than, like, Green Bay is closer to me than anywhere in the Lower Peninsula, and that's like halfway through fucking Wisconsin, bro. We were more like a part of Wisconsin than we are Lower Michigan. That shit is distant. So to get to Illinois on the freeway is a morning away. It takes like 4.5-5 hours. It's not that bad depending on traffic in Milwaukee on the way through. But this is like women's suffrage, bro. We doing it state by state. Weed is gonna be legal everywhere people want it legal, and the 20s is gonna be roaring, bro. Round 2. I'm fucking ready. Let's get it. It's January. I'm gonna try to get back here, but I don't like doing this. I'm an introverted crazy fuck. I'm gonna go puke now. I came home with some crazy wax cartridges, jewel pod, THC things, very discreet. Bunch of crazy flour. Bud prices are not crazy, but obviously it's going to be ridiculously cheaper if you're someone who is a medical marijuana patient. When I was a medical marijuana patient, you could get like $15, $25, $35, $45 eighths depending on quality, and then you could get ounces for 100, 150, 200, 250 depending on quality. But as a recreational patient, they have eighths for 35, 50, 60, and the bulk doesn't get much cheaper. Availability on bulk deals isn't really there. Certain coupons and shit isn't available. Is it still worth it to come as a recreational patient? Fuck yes. Do you know a friend who has a medical marijuana card? If you do, bring him with. You go with too into the store. Have the experience of getting to go see the weed store. Have him buy the shit that you want to fucking really have. And as soon as you walk out the door, if he just wants to give it to you, that is technically not illegal.